And we have yet to talk about Tanner Hall going for a couple of innings today. When that was announced that he was going to start, you saw some people kind of, oh, that's irresponsible. That's it. Nope. They handled that perfectly. What, he throw 35 pitches today? Would have been a bullpen day for him. Hard capped it. He gave up a couple of early runs, but they were unearned. Only had one hard hit ball. They could have just kept pushing him if they wanted to and been irresponsible. We've seen that before in other places, but 35 pitches on 2 full days rest, that was totally, completely fine. And some of the reaction I thought was a little extreme.
Yeah, and you remember when we were talking about the Sun Belt tournament a couple of weeks ago, Scott Berry told us last Monday that they could have brought Tanner Hall back for an inning in the Sun Belt Conference Championship game if they had needed to, and it turned out they didn't need to do that. And you were looking at the same rest window, right? They played their first game of the Sun Belt tournament on Thursday. Is that right? Was it Thursday or was it Wednesday? Whichever it was. And then you could have come back and gotten a few pitches out of him, but not pushed him any harder. So in this case, he goes on Friday, gets Saturday, Sunday off. You come back on Monday, the third day, get a little bit out of him on what would have been a day that he threw, as long as you don't push it too hard. And you have to have a two-way trust street if you're going to do that, right? Scott Berry and the medical staff at Southern Miss have to trust that Tanner Hall is going to be honest with them. And Tanner Hall has to trust that Scott Berry and the medical staff are going to do what is in his best interest. But there's a long enough relationship there that trust should be there, and they should be able to communicate. And if Tanner Hall has even the slightest bit of discomfort when he wakes up this morning or yesterday morning, he has to tell them and go, I think this is a bad plan. And they immediately stop the conversation. Immediately. Like there's nothing else to talk about. But if he wakes up yesterday and he's like, Coach, I feel great. My arm feels really good. No fatigue, no dead arm, no dead legs. Okay, good. We're trending in the right direction. And then when he gets up this morning, he still feels good on what would have been a bullpen day. Then, yeah, you handled it perfectly. There's no reason in the world. Was it Southern Miss fans that were pushing back? Or was
no,
it
just like college baseball reaction. No, every Southern Miss fan that I saw was like, all right, let's get it. Like just
Sure.
fired up for the day. But 30 pitches is all he threw today. Again, gave up 2 runs, but not his fault. Only 1 ball was hit pretty hard. But yeah, absolutely nothing wrong with how they handled that at all. Sometimes, man, and I get, the internet's not the best gauge of people's emotions, but let something happen first before you complain about it happening, If Scott Berry would have had him throw 90 pitches today, then yeah, criticize the heck out of him, because that would have been deeply irresponsible after throwing 127 3 days ago. Sure, but he threw a bullpen session today. That's all he did.
Let me ask you this also. I mean, a lot of this is baseball writer guys, right? I mean, you got a lot of baseball writers that are like the great protectors of arms. So I have 2 thoughts here. Number one, whoever it is that you're talking about is probably having Tommy John surgery at some point anyway. It's the nature of the beast. They have it now, they have it later, they've already had it. It's probably going to happen. That's number one. So we got to protect the arms. You're probably not really protecting anything. And number 2, are you only living vicariously through someone that has the ability to do something that you never did? Oh, great protector of the bullpen arms. Sports writer scribe in the sky. Because I just wonder about some of these guys that they love to write the column about the guy that went over 100 pitches. And how many times he went over 100 pitches and how damaging this was. Have you ever been a competitor in your life? Because you're taking some of the best athletes in the prime of their career, competing in a sport they love, trying to accomplish something that they've dreamed about their entire life, and you behind your keyboard or your pen are the one to tell them, no, you shouldn't do this. What if I want to do this? What if I know the risk? What if I'm okay with it?
And the
If
player's
there's a-
okay with it. And
if-
his family's
if there
okay
is-
with it.
If there is a person on the planet that should hold a grudge against a coach for costing him millions and millions of dollars, it's Ben McDonald. Because the way Skip Bertman used Ben McDonald was criminal. But you know what? Ben McDonald is one of the greatest competitors you will ever find. He loves Skip Bertman today like a father. And about 4 or 5 years ago, Skip Bertman came up to him. He's like, Ben, probably used you too much. You might still be pitching. It's like, Coach, that's water under the bridge. We're good. One of the most beloved LSU Tigers of all time. First ever SEC pitcher to go 1-1. Lived his dream. National champion. Pitched in the big leagues. Professional broadcaster. Gets to be himself. Ben McDonald wouldn't trade it. And so the people that like just come out of nowhere, how dare you pitch him? Because I'm a competitor and I can. How about that side of the take? Do we want to protect players? Absolutely. Does arm health matter? Of course. Do athletes sometimes stand up and say, give me the ball? Yeah, they do. And if you're a coach, deep down, that's what you want your team made up of.
Yeah.
Because guys like that are winners.
Could you imagine Tanner Hall waking up this morning and saying, hey, coach, my current coach and well, I guess not my future coach because he'll be drafted, but hey, guys, I feel good. I'm ready to go. And they say, nope, we're not even going to let you give us 2. Could you imagine what Tanner Hall would have responded like if they said, we're not even letting you get 2 innings for us? Probably would
One of
have
the
gone
greatest
well.
individual pitching performances I've ever seen was Drew Pomerantz. 2009? He throws on Friday night of the Oxford Regional, doesn't have a ton of pitches. Comes back on Monday,